And we are live. Good morning, dear ones. Robert Brzezinski with you. I have my dear friend, Rev.Valerie Reeves, with me. Say good morning, Reverend.
Good morning.
There she
Oh,
is.
I'm in Los Angeles, California. Yeah.
Yes, Valerie's outside of Los Angeles, and we'll talk about that too as we get to the end of this. So I like to start every one of these sessions by saying hello to the people that are listening to a recording of this, because if you're watching this at a later time, that's really cool. And the people watching live hadn't had a chance to get in the room yet. So this is that, half a minute vamp that everybody has to do to let people in on Facebook and YouTube figure out that what we're doing and get into the room. So today is Saturday, the 28th of the month already, and my gosh, it's the month is just flying by. But like I said, I do have my good friend Rev.Valerie Reeves with me today. She's outside of LA, and we've been friends for quite a long time, but we haven't prayed together in a while. So that's kind of what this is all about, folks. It's a chance to come together every day at 8:15, morning and evening, to share a prayer and experience and tap into our divine calling. And I want you to know that today's episode is sponsored by Daily Spirit Callings. Daily Spirit Callings is a daily email inspiration, affirmation, and call to action delivered directly to your email every day. And that's also a podcast now too. So you can check out the podcast there at dailyspiritcalling.transistor.fm/episodes. And also there is in the description of this video, there's a link to sign up for the email blast that we get every morning. So, all right, Rev.Valerie, welcome to the Share a Prayer morning prayers. And I like to just kind of invite everybody that sits in with me an opportunity to share a little bit. What's on your heart these days, and what's your prayer request?
So, knowing that this happens and wraps up soon, I like to be out in the world for sure. So I think that's all of us. Excuse me. We're ready to have everything. And as of yesterday, toilet paper was on my mind because, kind of got down to the last roll. And I was at the store and a gentleman said, "You need some?" And so he opened up a package and gave me a roll. I said, "What can I pay you for that?" And he's like, no pay. It was just so sweet. It just touched my heart because it's like, okay, somebody's willing because you know that there's no more in the store. That was it. So that was sharing, caring. Love it. Funny. I think my youngest son is sending me some from Oregon. So it's gotten just a little crazy. It's gotten a little crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, I can't help but think that there have been so many people that I've talked to that were wishing for more time to meditate, to read, to write, to do so many things. And it's like, okay, it's a collaborative thing. So many people wanted this, and we manifested some time to read and write and just probably not in the way that we wanted.
Right.
So now it's like, okay, what are we doing with this time? And I want to make sure that it's being productive. And I read a thing from Sue Rubin, Dr. Sue Rubin yesterday that talked about making a schedule and really sticking to it and not just letting it be time that just kind of fluffs on by, but time that is actually utilized in wonderful, productive ways. So that's what's really on my mind is what can I do with this wonderful time that we have, sending love out to the world, but also what can I do that's really productive for me, for my life, and for all of us? Yeah, during this time. So that would be my prayer request, is to stay on task with my schedule, getting up, doing some yoga, doing some exercising, doing some great meditation, and knowing that we're all connected and we're all in this, and that something wonderful is happening and something wonderful is coming through this. Yeah.
My wife, she's the same. She was way early the other day, went and got in line to go get toilet paper. And I saw a meme recently, right? When this is all said and done, we really are going to realize how little we need, and we're going to be grateful for how much we have.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are going to see that. So, okay. All right, folks. So here's how it happens. It's called Share a Prayer. Now, remember, if you would like to have your prayer request included in this, you can send a prayer request directly to me at Rev.Valerie@spiritevolving.com. And I'll either add that to my daily prayer work, or we'll read it online over on the air online if you like. But either way, if you have a prayer request, please just get it into my email and let me know what that would be. So, all right. Reverend Valerie, it's called Share a Prayer. What's going to happen, folks, is Reverend Valerie will start the prayer, and she'll get us rolling and get us in. And at some point, Spirit will say, okay, you're done, pass it over. And she'll kind of throw it over my way, and I'll pick it up, run with it, and then close the prayer. And we'll say a few words at the end, let you know how to stay in touch with everybody. So, Reverend Valerie, please do take it away.
Okay. Well, let's just go inside our heart of hearts. Just breathing in the fullness of life. And just letting go of anything that does not serve us. Keeping our mind focused, knowing that we are in control of our own mind, knowing that there is one mind, one power, one infinite intelligence, knowing that it flows in, as, and through each and every one of us. Knowing that my words go out and echo to the universe. Knowing in this wonderful collective consciousness that something wonderful is transforming, that we feel it inside of us, that we listen to that inner call, that inner knower that just knows that it knows that it knows that it knows the right and perfect steps to take. Knowing that we are already healed, whole, perfect, and complete. That creative something that's been wanting to express is expressed with ease, with grace, with love, with joy. That we stay on task, on time, on purpose for our lives. That we definitely reach out to people, ask for what we need, ask for what we want. Keeping love the center of everything. Knowing that we have patience for everyone, that we have patience for ourselves, our children. That we just get into that love space to celebrate the time that we have. However it looks. Whether working, not working. Taking gratitude to all the things that we do have, all the services that are still given to us, to the beautiful connections that we're making each and every day. Knowing that our hearts continue to be filled with laughter and joy, and we take that playful child nature and allow ourselves to play during this time. Being in that space of love. As I pass this love bubble over to Reverend Robert.
I feel that vibration of love. I feel the truth of love. I feel the love that is rising up across this entire planet, bringing forth new and weird and strange and wondrous and amazing expressions of itself. One love, moving and breathing and having its being as all of life. And what I know is there's nothing wrong here. There's nothing broken here. There is an unfolding that is occurring here, a new birth, a new revelation that's happening. And it's happening in messy ways. It's happening in strange ways. It's happening in sublime ways. And yet, each is being reminded of this one human family, being reminded of our unity, being reminded that each one expresses the divine in its own way. Whether it's handing out a roll of toilet paper or helping someone buy their groceries, The countless acts of kindness that I witnessed are acts of God coming into form, moving people's hands and hearts and minds to reaffirm, to reassure this oneness, this unity of life. And now more than ever, it is so obvious that we are all in this together. No matter what anybody might say, we are all in this thing called life together. And so I speak this word, I claim for each one that hears these words, a deep sense of recognizing that unity, an experience of being part of that and witnessing the unity of life. And knowing that this virus has its life, and just like all life makes its transition. When I speak the word, knowing that this time of isolation is a time of physical isolation, but not social isolation. This time apart from touching and being together, this too shall pass. We shall hug again. Because what I know is I know the expression of God's life is forever evolving, forever changing, forever growing and shifting and becoming more and more of itself. And so this experience cannot be the end, cannot be the final act. This is a blip in the radar of God's life. And so I claim for each one that hears these words a sense of peace and a sense of calm as we collectively move through this time. And I claim for each one that hears these words a deep sense of assurance that all is well, that this too shall pass, that no storm lasts forever. And so I turn away from the condition, I turn away from the news, I turn away from all the he said and this works and that doesn't and this does and do this and don't do that. Turn away from all that noise to find solace in the one. Through meditation, through prayer, through contemplation, through visioning, through journaling, through all the spiritual practices of my life, I find solace in knowing that God's got this. That I get to witness it, I get to play my part, but at the end of the day, God's still got it. That power, presence, and intelligence is on the job, is taking care of everything. And while I know that there is a human condition, human pain, human suffering, I know at the level of the divine, God does not feel that. God is bringing forth an opportunity here for greater unity, for greater recognition of oneness, for a greater sense of community, for to call each to a greater and more powerful sense of community. A chance to know our neighbors, a chance to really, really get to know people from a distance, through the internet, through a phone call. There's a word within me that chuckles at the idea of a resurgence of letter writing and sharing in slower communications rather than faster. And still at the end, as it moves, I know that the humanness of my life plays in and directs and informs and inspires, because it's all God's life taking form. It's really God doing the inspiring. It's really God doing the informing. And so I am in a place, I feel it welling up from within, a place of absolute gratitude for this time. Grateful for this time apart from the hustle and the bustle of the world. Grateful for this time to reflect. Grateful for this time of prayer. Grateful to be in communion and community with friends and family. Most especially, I'm grateful to know that God's got this. That power, presence, and intelligence that moves and breathes as all of life, that is all life, is on the job. And there is a great vision that is revealing itself through this healing, through this weird and wacky healing. So I am grateful to know God has got this, and grateful to know that I can get out of the way and let God be God. For I know it is not I that does the work, it is God that does the work. So I release the word into the law that in fact has already said yes, is already operating upon this word, and I let it be. And together we affirm this truth by just simply saying, and so
So
it
it is.
is.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Thank
it
you.
is. Thank you, Joy. Thank you. Thank you for being with us. If you would like to stay in touch with Reverend Valerie, her email or her Facebook address is there on the screen. Go ahead and connect, send a friends request, and all of that,
Be
and
friends.
and be friends exactly. And
Mm-hmm.
do remember that New Thought Radio, positively inspiring tunes, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, available at newthoughtradio.net. It's a great way to stay in touch with the positivity of New Thought, and all your favorite New Thought artists are streaming on that platform. So check out New Thought Radio as well. Well, Reverend Valerie, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
No,
And
it's a great day. It's going to be the best day ever. Yeah.
Yes, we get to go out and make it a great day. So,
Yeah.
and we'll be back here, folks, at 8:15 p.m. Mountain Time for evening prayers. I don't know if I have anybody scheduled for this evening or not, but that's okay. Whether there is or there isn't, we're going to pray together. So, I invite you to. I keep saying that. Go out and make it a great day. Right? Stay in, but still make it a great day. Until next time, peace and blessings. Love
All right.
you.
Love you. Bye.
And you don't.